Welcome to Nightfall Story Lounge, your nightly escape into romance, mystery, comedy, and sweet dreams.
The headlights coming toward me pulled me out of my spell. For a moment, I hadn't even realized how long I'd been driving on autopilot, hands steady on the wheel, eyes forward, mind nowhere and everywhere all at once. The road stretched ahead of me, familiar in ways that made my chest feel tight. Charlotte had a way of doing that. It didn't announce itself, it just waited, patient, unchanged, like it knew I'd be back eventually. I slowed at the light, the glow washing over the hood of my car, and that's when it really hit me. I was home. The word didn't sit right. It felt heavy, complicated. Home wasn't supposed to feel like this, like something I was bracing myself for instead of running toward. I rolled my shoulders, exhaled, and turned onto the street I knew better than I wanted to admit. Aunt Margot's street. The houses still stood close together, porches wide, lights warm behind drawn curtains. This block had raised generations, mine included. I passed the corner store where she used to make me walk with her on Saturday mornings, insisting fresh air was good for my spirit. I used to complain, she used to laugh. Now the silence felt louder than any argument we'd ever had. Aunt Margot was gone. The thought landed again, sharp and unreal, like it had every day since the call. She'd been more than an aunt. She was the steady presence when everything else felt optional. The one who showed up. The one who remembered birthdays, called just to check in, and told me, more times than I could count, that I didn't have to have everything figured out yet. Yet, she'd always say, like she was certain I would. I wasn't so sure. Charlotte was supposed to be a pit stop for me, a place I dropped into for holidays and funerals, then left behind without looking back. My real life was supposed to be somewhere else, somewhere shinier, more defined, somewhere I'd finally feel settled. But as I drove deeper into the neighborhood, I couldn't help wondering, what real life had I actually built? I had a decent job, a decent apartment, a decent routine, and a long list of women who never stayed long enough to matter. I dated easily, moved on easily. Commitment always felt like a jacket that didn't quite fit, too tight in the shoulders, too heavy to carry. And yet here I was, 35 years old, driving back to the one place I'd sworn I wouldn't end up, feeling just as uncertain as I had the day I left. What if I'd stayed? The question slipped in quietly, but it didn't leave. What if I hadn't chased distance instead of direction? What if I'd let roots grow instead of cutting them every time things got uncomfortable? Would I feel grounded? I turned onto the driveway before I could overthink it. The house stood exactly the same, white siding, dark shutters, porch light glowing like it had been waiting for me. For a second, I just sat there, engine running, staring at it like it might disappear if I blinked too long. This was Aunt Margot's house. My house. The idea felt unreal. She'd left it to me without hesitation, like she'd always known I'd need it more than anyone else. Like she trusted me to take care of something permanent, even when I hadn't trusted myself to do the same. I cut the engine. The silence settled in around me, thick but familiar, wrapping itself gently around my chest. I stepped out of the car, the gravel crunching under my shoes, and looked up at the front door. This wasn't just a house. It was a mirror. Every version of me that had ever lived here, the boy with big dreams, the teenager desperate to leave, the man who still didn't know where he belonged, they were all standing right here with me. I rubbed my hand over my face and shook my head with a quiet laugh. Get it together, Kev. Tomorrow would be about logistics, lawyers, paperwork, family, the funeral, seeing people I hadn't seen in years, explaining my life in polite, surface-level answers. But tonight was just about being here. I grabbed my bag from the back seat and walked toward the door, unaware that this house and this city still had a way of pulling me back into a story I thought I'd already laid to rest, and that some of the most complicated chapters of my life were just getting started. As soon as I turn the key, the door opens with a familiar creak, and the scent hits me all at once. Vanilla, lavender, and just a hint of shea butter. I freeze there in the doorway, hand still on the knob, chest tightening before I can stop it. The house smells exactly like her, not stale, not empty, just lived in, warm, like she'd stepped out for a moment and expected me to follow. I close my eyes and inhale deeply. It feels like a hug, the kind Aunt Margot used to give, the ones that lasted just a second longer than necessary, like she was silently telling you to stay a while. My throat tightens, and I let out a slow breath I didn't realize I'd been holding.
I'm really going to miss you.
I say quietly, the words barely louder than the hum of the refrigerator. The house answers with silence. I step inside and close the door behind me, setting my bag down by the wall. Everything is just where it's always been. The same console table near the entry. The same framed scripture on the wall. The same soft lamp glow casting gentle shadows across the living room. Nothing feels rushed here. Nothing feels loud. I don't go far. My feet take me down the hallway without thought, past her bedroom door. I slow there for half a second, then keep walking. I don't feel right sleeping in her room. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. I head straight to the room I always stayed in when I visited. The guest room. It looks untouched. The bed is neatly made, corners tucked just the way she liked them. The comforter is folded halfway down, inviting but not demanding. A small lamp glows on the nightstand, casting soft light across the room. I drop my bag by the dresser and sink onto the edge of the bed, rubbing my hands over my face. So much to do, but not tonight. Tonight, all I want is a shower and sleep. Tomorrow will bring enough weight on its own. There will be time to sort through drawers, boxes, memories, time to decide what stays and what goes, time to figure out how this house becomes mine, if it ever does. Right now, I just want to rest. As I stand, my eyes catch something across the room, a framed photo. I walk over slowly, already knowing what it is before I reach it. The last family reunion. Aunt Margot insisted we all wear khakis and white, while the women wore coral. She'd planned it for months, sending reminder texts like she was running a production instead of a cookout. None of us questioned it. That was Aunt Margot. When she had a vision, you followed it. I remember laughing when she told us she'd hired a professional photographer. We thought she was joking. She wasn't. The photo was perfect. Everyone smiling. Even the people who never smile. Even me. I traced the edge of the frame with my thumb, memories rising easily. Laughter, side conversations, the smell of grilled food drifting through the air. That day felt calm, grounded, like nothing was missing. I smile without realizing it. Still one of my favorite pictures. The sound of my phone ringing pulls me out of it, sudden in the quiet room. I glance at the screen. Deuce. I answer before it can ring again.
Hey, Kev.
He says, his voice steady, familiar.
Just checking to make sure you made it in safe.
I did.
I say, sinking back onto the bed.
Just got here a little while ago.
Good. How's the house?
I glance around the room.
Same as always. Smells like her.
Mm-hmm.
He says quietly.
She had a way about her.
We talk for a few minutes. Nothing heavy, just updates, logistics, what time we're meeting in the morning. He tells me to rest, reminds me tomorrow will be long.
Get some sleep. We'll handle everything else together.
Thank you, Deuce.
After we hang up, the house feels quiet again. But not empty, just still. I grab my things and head to the bathroom. The shower starts with a familiar rattle before settling into a steady stream. Steam fills the room as the water warms, and I step in, letting it wash over me. I close my eyes and let the day fall away. The drive, the memories, the questions I don't have answers to yet. I don't try to sort through them. I just let the water run, let my shoulders relax, let myself be tired, really tired. By the time I step out, the mirror is fogged, my thoughts softened at the edges. I get ready for bed without rushing, moving through the routine like muscle memory, brushing my teeth, changing into clean clothes, turning off the lights. When I return to the guest room, the bed looks exactly the same, waiting. I slide under the covers and exhale slowly. The sheets are fresh, cool against my skin. For a brief moment, it feels like she knew I'd be here tonight, like she prepared the room just for me. My mind drifts toward tomorrow, the funeral. I don't owe anyone explanations I'm not ready to give. I'll accept the condolences, nod, say thank you, listen more than I speak. Most of them are probably married by now. Families, kids, lives that look settled. I prepare myself for the questions I won't answer and the looks I won't read too deeply into. Right now, all I need to do is rest. I turn onto my side, staring at the faint outline of the door in the darkness. The house creaks softly, settling around me like it's breathing.
I'll take care of it.
I whisper. I'm not sure who the promise is for, her or me. My eyes grow heavy. Tomorrow will come soon enough. Tonight I sleep.